A society with empty cradles. If you wonder about a country's future, you should look not at its factories, but at its cradles. Because a cradle that isn't rocked is a harbinger of a future that won't be rocked either. Is there anyone now in their 50s or 60s who doesn't remember their neighborhood being filled with the voices of children during their childhood? The mischievous ones, the lazy ones, the snotty-nosed ones, the pranksters, the ones with torn clothes and dirty faces, the ones who broke windows while playing soccer, who tackled each other to the ground, who picked the fruit from your garden, who stole your chicken. The class's mischief-maker kids, the ones the teacher finally had enough of and pleaded, "Please don't send this one to me. I won't keep him in my class." The kids who caused fights between families by turning a neighbor's unused lot into a soccer field with their friends. The incorrigible children who fill the back rows of the mosque during Tarawih prayers in Ramadan and showcase all their attention-grabbing tricks. No matter what, the most beautiful sound of those days was the chirping of children. Now, on phone screens that loom like tombstones over a terrifying, deathly silence like a thriller movie. It's as if the words Fatiha for the soul of the land are written there. Schools, classes, playgrounds, and recreational areas all now reduced to abandoned buildings. Mosque entrances where children's shoes are no longer scattered haphazardly. There's no need to ask who taught this society to give up on children. Whoever source instilled this narcissistic ego, self-importance, and selfishness, that's where it came from. Who whispered into their ear to view children as a burden? Whoever instilled this self-centeredness and habit of making excuses, they've fallen for it. Where is this leading? Yet Islam has never viewed children as a burden. It has always regarded them as a source of mercy, blessing, and a trust. Our Prophet, peace be upon him, has promised that he will take pride in the great number of his ummah on the day of judgment. And the Holy Quran has addressed the very thing that frightens people the most today with the following verse: "It is we who provide for them and for you." Al-Isra 31. As Imam al-Ghazali, may Allah have mercy on him, said, "A child is the fruit of patience and the embodiment of mercy." Those who say, "It is Allah who provides for the child, He does not come empty-handed," are referring to this very truth. Perhaps the issue is not purely economic. At a deeper level, it lies in the weakening of trust in God. In the past, people were far poorer than they are today, yet their hopes were richer. It seems that as our opportunities have increased, so have our fears. Data from the Turkish Statistical Institute TÜİK also reflects this. While the fertility rate among mothers with only an elementary school education is 2.51, it drops to 1.24 among university graduates. In rural areas, it is 1.75, while in densely populated cities, it falls to 1.33. In other words, as prosperity and modernization increase, the sense of abundance diminishes just as much. We must not forget that a child is born not just into a family, but into an entire network of relatives. When a child is born, a grandfather becomes a grandfather again, a grandmother becomes a grandmother again, and an uncle, aunt, or cousin becomes that person once more. When a child is lost, it is not just the population that diminishes the bustle of our holidays. The joy at our tables and the recipients of our prayers are also diminished. Here's another truth. No mother ever looks at her grown child and says, "I wish I hadn't given birth to them, they cost too much." Yet many parents sigh years later, wishing, "I wish we'd had one more child." After all, as people grow older, they don't count their ledgers, they count the children who come knocking at their door. So what can we do? First and foremost, concrete steps are needed to ease the financial barriers young people face in getting married. Rent and housing assistance, the expansion of daycare options, flexible work hours, and a societal effort to simplify wedding and dowry expenses. The guidance of Hazrat Omar to single young people: get married. Poverty is no excuse, can still inspire us today. Our mosques and congregations must offer young couples not only religious, but also spiritual and psychological support. We must cultivate a language that elevates motherhood and fatherhood, one that is honoring rather than demeaning within the family, in the media, and an education. But before all this, we must remove the greatest obstacle, the mindset that views a child as a burden. For when mercy begins to be seen as a burden, blessings quietly withdraw. A nation's greatest wealth is neither its gold, nor its oil, nor its factories. Its greatest wealth is its cradles. Every cradle left empty today means a school, a mosque, or a city that will be empty tomorrow. We must hear a child's voice not as noise but as a blessing, and view the cradle not as an ordinary object but as the first building block of a civilization. For a nation's future is not written in the agendas and clamor of empty-headed people, but in the arms of mothers, the prayers of fathers, and in the cradles.